So I've got a few people asking about how I repaired a broken badminton handle. So you can see here, it's completely snapped there. It was from a Astrock 100ZZ, so it's been replaced and it's working fine now. So when it snapped, this was in one piece. It was there. You just pull it out. It just comes right off. There is a bit of glue that was stuck in it, so it might be a little hard. But if you do it slowly, if you twist it a bit, it should come right off. Do note part of the racket was probably missing about, I don't know, that much at the bottom of the shaft. So it will affect your play style. But if you're curious what the inside of handle looks like, that was there. You can see it's just hollow there. Do a close up. And that's what the bottom looks like. And when you buy a replacement one, it's pretty much the same thing. Though the hole might be a little deeper or a little shallow. Yep. So when you take it out, it is a bit tough because there is, glue or adhesive inside. You pull it out. You get some sandpaper to clean it off, or whatever. Screwdriver, you can use it as well. Just be careful to not break the racket or to hurt yourself as well. For me, sandpaper worked quite well. I used something a bit more coarse just to clean it up as well. The hardest part was the cone. I wrapped it all the way up, but here's another racket, another Astrock ZZ. So this part was probably the hardest part because the wood, the top part of the handle was still stuck inside this part here. I just had a small chisel that I chipped away, and eventually I think it was easy enough for me just to pull the shaft off the cone here as well. So you just pull, comes right off. And just give it a quick clean, with some whatever cleaning solution you have, degreaser or dish soap or whatever, just to clean off any dirt. So once you get your brand new handle, it looks exactly like that. I did a dry fit first just to make sure it fits nicely. It is quite snug, so just be careful you don't break the top of the handle where the cone goes, because it is a much thinner material. So if you can see like how this is probably much thicker, but if I go here, you can see that this is how thick it is. So it's quite thin, so just be careful you don't break the top part and then you have to buy another one. But I bought it on eBay. It comes in a set of 2 if you're lucky. So put it in, make sure it fits. Most importantly, you work out, you want to make it look as genuine as possible, that the butt cap, when you put it on, it's in the same orientation as one that you expect from Yonex, so you don't have it upside down essentially. And also you want to make sure that it's the cone, it's quite level as well, so you're not doing it slightly off edge. So it takes a bit of time to do. In terms of the glue, I use Epoxy instead of super glue, because super glue, when it dries, it's really hard compared to Epoxy, which is a bit more flexible. I never used Epoxy before, so you can see here, I squirted a bit out to mix it. You can see like it's quite flexible, so which hopefully helps with the flex of the racket, although I don't think it does. So yeah, it comes in 2 parts. The accelerant to the glue, you squeeze it onto whatever paper you have, or I've got a cupcake shell. Mix it up and slowly, use toothpicks or whatever you have. You really just drip it in. You can't really do it directly from this glue squeezy thing. Gets a bit too messy, because you've got to remember the hole is not very big. It's essentially the size of the shaft. So you've got to use that and slowly just drip it in. I don't know how much you need, but I just put as much as I can. Yeah, and then once you put it through, it's kind of spread on like throughout, because it's quite narrow. So you automate, like once you put it in the handle, the glue will ooze out. So that's probably know you've got enough, and just give it a clean. Also, when you're doing that, don't forget to have the butt cap, because the butt cap is actually, it's its own piece. So when you put the shaft in, don't forget to have the butt cap already placed into the shaft as well. So otherwise you kind of have a racket without one. Depending how much damage your racket has, mine was missing about that much on the bottom. So luckily I had another Astrox to compare the length. It's pretty good, I would say, in terms of how in terms of the racket length and the handle. But it won't play exactly the same, because once you put extra glue, it might reduce the flex of the racket towards the bottom. The weight distribution changes a bit, but the handle cost me $6 from eBay, and the glue was $3, so $10 fix, plus some electrical tape on the handle just to hold it in a bit better, because I did use the tape up to the butt cap because of the damage that was done to this racket. Tape I already had at home, so $1 there. New grip, so total probably like $15. It's a pretty cheap fix than buying a brand new racket. So hopefully this helps and makes sense, but if it doesn't, let me know, I'll try to explain it more.